Good evening, everyone. I'm Flo Magdalena, and we are going to be working this evening with a very beautiful energy called William Marshall. And he is going to take us on a journey to Ukraine and Russia tonight so that we create a field of grace there. And if you have not been on with us before, you will be taken through different processes to support the healing of all conflict on the planet, but specifically the conflict that's happening in the experience of Ukraine and Russia. And so we will be learning and experiencing how we can carry a field of grace. And that field of grace is always available to us, no matter what it is that we might be dealing with. And in this process, we're going to come together as a field of grace and begin to open that field for the purpose of holding grace for all of the activities that are happening in the part of the world where there is this major conflict at the moment. So the first thing that we want to do is to close our eyes and go inside and begin to breathe down into our body, into our feet, and ground with the earth. All right, so let's all begin to do that. And we want to actually know that our breath is carrying the power of our life force. And so we're breathing our life force up and down our central channel and acknowledging in each moment the power that we have through our breath to affect all reality around us throughout all of the experiences of the world, and that our breath and our power and our light is all connected to the grace of what is called the Light Magnificent. And so William Marshall, this beautiful guide, is going to come, and first he's going to stand next to each of us. So as we're breathing and deeply moving our energy into the earth to ground, we're going to feel him next to us, supporting grace around our field. So as we're breathing, there is more and more of this feeling of grace around us. And he defines grace as a heavenly energy that comes, opens the heart, connects us to all life, and brings with it a very strong blessing in each moment. So let's imagine that we are now experiencing this field of grace. Every time we breathe in through the top of our head, down into our central channel in the center of our body, and then all the way down into the earth. And all around us now is this field of the blessing of heaven, the blessing of the grace of oneness. And no matter what we are thinking, where we are going in our mind, what we are endeavoring to accomplish together, we are actually working through this field of grace, because this is what will open hearts everywhere on the planet. There is no judgment in it. There is no thought, actually, of good or bad or dualism of any kind, because we know that when we enter a situation such as the conflict that is happening in the Ukraine and Russia, that if we add duality to it, it does not support resolution. So we are entering a new way together this evening, and we are sharing that way through our breath and intention, and also recognizing that there is no distance between us, no matter where we are in the world. We are holding each other as comrades. And it is as if we are actually holding each other across the shoulders, leaning in together, to create this beautiful circle of alignment from heaven to earth through our bodies and sharing that with each other. So William Marshall will now come for you to speak, to offer you his wisdom and to carry us into the space that he feels will be best for us to serve this evening. So I gather each of you together in a new way, a way that you perhaps have not experienced before. And we are going to go back in time, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, to a place that was not called Russia or Ukraine, to a place that did not have borders in the same way, did not have the legalities of the 21st century. And so I ask you to travel with me through time, imagining that we are all connected, as this one has stated, that we are all in a huddle together with our arms around each other's shoulders and our foreheads pressing against each other's foreheads, so that the wisdom is flowing between us. And there is no leader, there is no follower, there is no time, and there is no separation. We are all together in this one formation of the heart, connecting through the wisdom of knowing. And we are going to transport ourselves to what is now called the Ukraine. And we are going to imagine we are there before conflict has begun, before there are rulers that are creating conflict through their own choice to do so. And so imagine that we are on a fertile field and that we are standing together in a circle, many, many, many of us, more of us than are here physically in this experience of this moment. And you can feel people joining. And we all have on very rough clothing, made from animals, made from wool, spun fabrics, earth colors. We can feel ourselves with heavy boots. We can feel ourselves coming together to gather, to support resolution that has not yet necessarily been brought. We are coming together to honor life in a way that will then be transported into the land through our feet and into the hearts of the people through our hearts. And we are ready to do this because we know there is no time and that we can affect reality wherever it is through the choice to do so. So we are standing together and we are holding each other and we are opening to more and more people, and the circle that we are carrying together through our arms is growing in size. And we are expanding our capacity to hold this field together through many, many arms and many, many hearts. And I, as the marshal, in the latter years of the 1100s, was carrying in each moment a crystal energy that I grounded into this planet that symbolized the One, the Christ, the energy of light, however you would think of it most in your own conscious awareness, what would fit your own system of belief in the best way. The light of being, and we call it the light magnificent because everything that has been gathered or created about light comes from the light magnificent. It is the original point of light from which all are born and sustained. And what happens, in my estimation, in the world now is that people are not in connection with that light, and so they do not feel sustained. So we are going to open this light in this place of the fertile field that will carry it through this earthly ley line space into all of the kingdoms that reside there, so that the earth has the magnetism of this light, magnificent, to radiate through the centuries into this moment for the use and the duration of this time that we are honoring, this time that we are gathering to respond, to open, and to, in a very literal way, recalibrate. We want to recalibrate the energy of the space. I have spoken several times recently about this field of grace, that what it does, what it offers, what it opens is the capacity of each person to be less afraid, to be less tense, or to have their mind so tight that they cannot see solutions or other ways of viewing the reality that they are experiencing or creating or demanding. So what we are doing is creating this beautiful fertile field, and we're opening it out right now in this place. So ground your feet very strongly into this land. And whether you have been here or not, you will begin to have impressions of this fertile field that we are standing in. You may hear sounds. You may feel emotions. You may gather over and over again symbology or color or texture or a sensation. And you breathe it down into the earth, and you breathe the earth up into your body, and our circle continues to expand because there are many, many others who want to join us from all time to sustain and create together a different choice in this place. And as we grow and expand, this light magnificent is channeled through us and through the divine into the land in the center of the circle that we're creating as we move back to include more individuals in our field of oneness. And you can imagine taking a step back, holding out your arms, having someone else join, taking a step back. More people joining. Everyone is joining. From every single time, humanity is being called now to restore order in this place. And we honor with every ounce of our being that we are being called to sustain new order on this planet. And so we step back and we open and we experience more and more light, more and more love, more and more camaraderie. And everywhere we look, there are more joining us. The circle is bigger and bigger and bigger. And some of us have already grounded rocks or stones or crystals or notes or letters or written in the soil or brought some beautiful aspect of ourselves and anchored it here. And so you may feel and observe and experience that this is not a graveyard as much as it is a potential field of light enhancement and fortification. And we are smiling with each other. We are gathering new beings every moment until our circle is so huge that we are celebrating this welcoming. It is as if we are welcoming all of Earth in these representatives. And we are of all colors and ages and cultures and times, places and kingdoms, galaxies and stars. And for a moment now, we just open to invite more from all galactic systems, all spaces, and all kingdoms to join us with this intention to bring grace and truth, order and light. To bring a foundation so strong into this land that its voice can be heard by all life. And we breathe. We breathe the light magnificent in to our own body, and we breathe grace out into the field in front of us. And we see arising from this field a strong aura of light. The weaving of different points of power and energy of truth as they come into order in this place. And we see angelic forces and avatars and masters. We invite all of the galactic forces of light. We open to all of the earth elements and essences. We call forth the fairies and the gnomes, the sprites. Every aspect of life is represented in our vision of how interconnection in this new earth system can be planted here now. And every time we breathe, we expand further and further in our awareness beyond our physical body. We see ourselves floating all around, creating more and more grace. We see all of the years, all of the centuries flowing into this grace. We ask for any residual patterns of dissolution, separation, hatred, prejudice, judgment, to dissolve in the face of the truth that we carry and bring and offer and receive and invite. And we are moving further and further away from our physical bodies as an energy field that floats in and around the individuals who now manifest more clearly in the 21st century. And we waft our energy around them, flowing in and out and around their physical bodies. We cross border lines and move into different countries that surround this area. And we bring in accordance a balancing energy of trust and faith and truth to replace fear and separation. And in every moment from this time forth, When we think of this area, we see and feel the fertile field receiving the grace, extending it beyond any border, surrounding all life with that, and the invitation to remember it as the truth of being. And we open out and bring more light in now. All of the areas that are involved in this conflict are being filled with light. The legions of souls that have come to support us are pouring light in and through every single aspect of this experience for us and for all life. And we feel more and more the grace. And we surrender to thought and allow the essence of light to fill us as well. And we extend our energy beyond the moment, beyond time, beyond place. And now invite every part of the world to be filled with this light, to rise and extend and expand and be part of this beautiful cloak of grace. And we see it everywhere now. Everywhere we look, we see it where we live, where our friends live, our family, those on our community list of those we care about and share with and teach with and commune with. All of us, the comrades, are being woven into this texture of light everywhere on the planet. And we feel the resolution in our being, and we flow it into each and every part of the earth now, flowing it over the field that we began with, flowing it into our bodies now, into each other's hearts, and experiencing that we are standing in this grace now again, and that we use our breath to send this grace wherever we choose to send it. We use each breath with the power that it has to offer alternatives and choices and options in every moment. And we are settled in this experience that we carry this vibration to support this balance and grace and healing and trust again and again and again. So in your awareness, we are all together always. We are always encompassing this whole planet and beyond. We are stabilizing our own personal fields. Our field of grace is always available no matter what we might request it for. And we are ready to stand in this very balanced way, holding everything and honoring very deeply that we are part of this wholeness, and so is everything. And we now invite the memory of that wholeness and oneness and light for every being on this planet to receive and acknowledge. And as we breathe, it surrounds us, it surrounds all that is. And we bring this with us, knowing that we are part of this greater whole. We each have a part to play in this. And whenever we wish to return to the fertile field and anchor an energy or a crystal or a flower or beautiful words or poems or a song from our heart to these people who are struggling to remember, that one breath takes us there. One breath unifies us with all life. And one breath is all that is necessary to be in wholeness with all that is. And we carry this now in each moment, affecting what we are moved to affect, holding what we are moved to hold, and responding where we are called to respond. And know that in each moment, your choice is making a difference, is adding to the voice of Earth to bring peace to her people, to our people, to all people. And so it is.